Yo guys, what is going on? Got some more BT6 double diamond game for you guys. I'm super excited to play this deck because it's a ton of fun and there is just so many new cards, so many awesome new cards coming out in the BT6 set that I'm super excited for. You'll see there I played the blue memory boost and then I've got Azulongmon in my hand and you see some Hexa blue cards as well, so I'm just playing kind of a source strip deck focused around Azulongmon as well as Hexablaumon, two very powerful boss monsters coming out in BT5 for Hexablau and BT6 for Azulongmon. I'm playing against Eosmon, which is a green-white deck is usually how that's run, and the kind of goal of that deck is just to spam your Eosmon level 5s there, gain advantage with your Morphmon as well as the Manoa Tamer, and just kind of swarm the field until you can get your Eosmon level 6, which is the boss monster for that deck, out onto the field and just like destroy your opponent and control the game from there. It's a very cool deck, and so I'm going against that. So as you can see, I started out pretty well with the Blue Memory Boost, and then you also see the Sora and Joe dual tamer card in my my battle area, so that now if my opponent does have a Digimon without materials at the start of my next turn, I'll just gain 2 memory, and then my opponent ran into another one with the Eosmon, so Eosmon gets to attack. Eosmon level 5 has the effect where when attacking you get to play another Eosmon that's level 5 or lower from your hand at no cost, and then Morphmon is also going to attack security. Morphmon has the effect where you reveal the top 5, and then you get to add a Manoa Bellucci tamer card as well as any Eosmon amongst those cards to your hand. So my opponent is going to see tons of cards that they can add, so they're going to add an Eosmon level 5 as well as a Manoa. That option card right there is Cutting Edge. That is the option card that lets you play an Eosmon from your hand, and then you get to delete a Digimon with equal or lower DP than the Digimon you just played. So, to round things off, my opponent is going to play Manoa, who is a super powerful white tamer, and then I'm going to gain 4 memory because of Sora and Joe putting me at 6, and then I also have the potential to gain another 2 from the blue memory boost I had on my side of the field, and then I'm going to play another one to just kind of cycle through my deck again and reveal the top 4 cards, add any blue Digimon amongst those cards to my hand. So you'll see I've got the Azulongmon in hand. I'm just trying to get the correct pieces in hand so I can Digivolve from Gomamon, probably into Tobyumon, and then you see the Chris Pyaldrimon as well. So I'm going to Digivolve Tobymon, which is really nice because he's only a 1 to Digivolve. And then you also see I have the Majiramon, who is one of the new cards out of BT6, who is kind of like Azulongmon's subordinate. I think that's how like the lore goes anyways. So basically he has the effect where all these cards have the effects, they're revolving around if your opponent does not have any Digimon with material. So compare that to a lot of the previous effects like Upamon and like Hexablau, Sora, Joe, that were like if your opponent has a Digimon without sources. For Zulongmon to work and for Majiramon to unsuspend him, it needs to be your opponent can't have any Digimon with sources, right? So then, okay, so right there, I do heavily apologize for this. That is a misplay right there. My opponent did not actually pay 1 for that Kabuterimon. I'm so sorry, guys. I hope that doesn't make this too unenjoyable. It's legitimately going to be inconsequential to the result of this game, but yes, I completely missed that. Anyways, my opponent's going to attack with the first Eosmon and then play the second one from the when attacking effect, and then Manoa gets to trigger because whenever you play an Eosmon, even if it's off an effect or anything, you can suspend her and then add either a Tamer or an Eosmon Digimon from your hand, from those cards to your hand. So you can add herself, she can search any Tamer, and a lot of these Eosmon's decks are playing things like Takumi Aiba as well as Matt and Yamato, because those are white Tamers that you can play. I said Matt and Yamato. Matt and Yamato are the same person, Matt and Tai, because you can play them from the Eosmon level 4 for free, which is really cool effect. So then my opponent is going to do that. He's going to play the Eosmon level 4 and then play another Manoa. Now the stigma with that is that your opponent can also play a Tamer from their hand if they have one. I just didn't have one at the time. So then you see I finally drew into the Hexablaumon. I'm going to go Azulongmon for 5. And then what Azulongmon does is strips off a material from every single Digimon on your opponent's side of the field, and then you gain 1 memory for each of your opponent's Digimon without material. So then I'm going to swing, and then Majiramon unsuspends him because now my opponent does have completely clear field, like no Digivolution sources, and I'm going to check 4 security cards because he gains security attack +1 for every single Digimon that doesn't have sources, right? So my opponent has 3 Digimon without sources, so then I'm going to be able to clear a lot of security cards, and then you just see all the advantage I'm able to rack up, and I'm just going to take out his last one, and Azulongmon's going to survive, right? He's 13,000, he's crazy, he's Digimon Sovereign, right? I think he's part of, like, multiple different groups, right? He's part of the Sovereigns, and there's, like, the 4 Great Dragons, right? It's, like, him, Megidramon, it's like Magnadramon or something. Goldramon, I think, is one of them. I don't know. If you guys know who the 4 Great Dragons are, please remind me, because I don't actually remember. But anyway, so then I'm going to Digivolve into Koalamon, and then I also got the Howling Memory Boost in my hand, which is another Memory Boost card, just like the blue Memory Boost there, only you get to strip materials instead of searching the top of your deck. And then I drew into the Absolute Blaster, which is just an absolutely amazing card. Probably the best removal card that blue has access to. You get to remove a material from one of your opponent's Digimon and then send any Digimon without material back to the bottom of your opponent's deck. And for only a 6 cost, I think that is well worth it. So then my opponent is going to go with 5, start with his 3 Digimon on field, and then he's going to play the Goblimon for 2. Digivolve into Kabuterimon for 1, and then he's going to swing with the first Eosmon, playing the Eosmon level 4 from his hand, which triggers all 3 of his Manoas, as well as the Eosmon level 4. Because it was played, you can play a White Tamer from your hand at no cost, and then my opponent is going to play the Tai and Matt. Now right there, I also could have played the Sora and Joe from my hand. I didn't think it mattered, that's why I didn't do it. Like, you'll see the game ends pretty soon anyways, but I could have done that, and then he's going to resolve all 3 of the Manoas, being able to continuously reveal 3, add a card, reveal 3, add a card, so you can see that the advantage that this deck can accumulate, and then you just vomit your whole hand onto the field with your Eosmon level 5s. And oh, by the way, I don't know if I've mentioned, like, Eosmon level 5 is like a card that breaks the mechanics of the game, because you can actually have more than 4 copies of Eosmon level 5 in one of your decks, right? You can have, I think, up to 50 copies, like, basically as many as you want in your deck. So that's also very cool mechanic. Now, hopefully we don't see a Eosmon level 5 here, but if we do, yeah, so, okay, he's actually going to Digivolve. So I think my opponent was playing a little bit cautious. He did have enough like Digimon to attack for game, but I think because he saw the Absolute Blast, he saw the removal cards that I was playing, maybe he just wanted to be extra safe and like not go ahead and attack for game. So he's going to Digivolve into the Eosmon level 6 there. Eosmon level 6 has the effect where for the number of tamers your opponent has, and like you and your opponent have, you can play, or you can attach that number of materials from your trash to it, as long as they are level 5 or lower Eosmon Digimon, and then if you attach 2 or more, your opponent, you get to destroy one of your opponent's Digimon. So, you know what, screw all that, I'm just going to go into Hexablow, and my opponent can't actually block, he can't block this attack, because I'm going to strip 2 materials off of the first Kabuterimon with Hexablow, and then strip 2 more materials off of the Sora and Joe from the other one. So then Hexablow says your opponent's Digimon without sources cannot attack or block. So then he's just going to end up losing, because he can't actually block that last attack. So game 2, my opponent is going to start. You see he Digivolves the Agumon there. Now I'm not actually sure what like the best choice of Digi-Egg for the Eosmon deck is. If you guys have suggestions, let me know. There are a couple ones. There's like the new Digi-Egg from BT6 that lets you draw a card if you kill an opponent's Digimon, which is pretty cool, but I don't know. I think for this one he was playing like Minomon and something else, but he's just going to go ahead, Digivolve that Agumon, and then play the Manoa, guaranteeing him 3 memory at the start of the turn. So then I'm going to Digivolve into my Gabumon. You see I've got the Bukamon for maximum like source stripping potential, if you will, and then I'm just going to Digivolve into the Marine Chimeramon. I was debating playing the Howling Memory Boost there, but it's really best when your opponent does have a Digimon on field. So then my opponent is going to go to 3 and then play the Eosmon level 5 for a 5 cost, which is really nice, because not only is Eosmon level 5 like a really good, has a really good attacking effect. It's only a 5 to play, which is on par with like Sirenmon and Skullmarimon, like the vanillas, right? And then he's just going to be able to suspend the Manoa, and then reveal top 3. You see Tiamat, and then an Eosmon, and I believe he's going to grab the Eosmon level 6 right there. So setting up for his potential plays, I will have to keep that in mind because that is a very, very scary card. So then I've got the Marine Chimeramon in play. And then I think what I should do is probably just bring it out and go into Hexablaumon. Or actually, what I'm going to do is play the Howling Memory Boost, because this way I'll be able to do a couple things in one turn. Because Howling Memory Boost is a 3 cost, but I get to trash the materials off of his Agumon, which then gains me a memory because I do have the Gomamon underneath my Marine Chimeramon, so that's effectively a 2 cost. And then what happens after that, I played Sora Joe. I'm sorry for the cut there, something was messing up with my computer, but I played the Sora Joe. After that, my opponent went Digivolve the Terriermon, and then just played the what's it called, the Eosmon level 5 off of that for his turn. So then I'm going to start with 3. And then I'm going to go ahead and Digivolve into Hexablau. After Digivolving into the Blucomon, Hexablau again has the amazing effect where if your opponent does not have a Digimon, or has a Digimon without sources, you basically get jamming. So he's offensively powerful as well as defensively powerful. And then what I'm going to do is just play the Gabumon for a cost of 3, letting me draw a card. And then my opponent is going to go bring out the Terriermon, and a Terriermon is pretty good against blue decks, especially because you see things like the Gomamon and the Howling Memory Boost there, but he is just going to Digivolve it, which I'm not sure if that was like the right move. I don't know why he wouldn't have Digivolved the Agumon instead. So that was a potential like misplay on my opponent's side. Okay, so I think this is why. So he decided to not bring out his Eosmon. He wants to keep it in the back, which is totally fine. And I think that's honestly smart against the Hexa Blue deck, because he's not going to be able to go into the level 6 this turn. So leaving it out for me to just get rid of all its sources is like not a good idea at all. So then I'm going to start with 2 after that, and then gain 2 memory from Sora and Joe, and then bring out my Blucomon. So it seems like things are going in my favor. I've got 2 more Hexablows in hand, and I've got another Sora Joe, and I've got a what's it called, Absolute Blast in hand. So I'm just going to attack with the Hexablow, not going to strip any sources because my opponent doesn't have any on any of his Digimon. And then now he's got 1 Eosmon in trash right now, so luckily Hexablow is protecting me, like he's preventing the other Eosmons from attacking. But if he does manage to get some more in trash, he will be set up for the Eosmon level 6. So then I'm going to play Sora Joe for a 4 cost, and then resolve Howling Memory Boost for 2, and then play the Absolute Blast, spinning back one of my opponent's Eosmon level 5s, because I just don't want that guy on field. And for only a 6 cost, like getting rid of an ultimate is a pretty sweet deal in my opinion. So my opponent's going to start with 4, because his Eosmon level 5 does have materials, he can attack with it, and then because of the inherited effect from the Eosmon level 4, he gets to play a Manoa, and then the level 5 lets him play the level 4, and then you can then suspend both because they were on the field, you know, anyways. So then he's going to suspend both and then resolve their effects in sequence. So then resolve 1, add that Eosmon, put them on the bottom of the deck, and then reveal the next 3, and then just going +2 off of every single interaction. Now that one he didn't actually reveal any cards that he could add, so he fizzled on that one. But then he is also going to play the Matt and Ty off of the Eosmon level 4, because it was played, and then I don't have a tamer I can play in my hand. But the saving grace here is that his Eosmon level 5. So all that happened before he even like checked the security, right? There was like 20 on attacking effects that happened, but he did end up dying to my Azulongmon security. However, because now that he has multiple Eosmons in trash, he's just going to go level 6 on top of the 5, and then attach up to 5 materials to the Eosmon level 6. I don't think he has that many in trash, so we're going to see 3 here. So then he has a bunch of really nice inherited effects. The level 5 gives Eosmon level 6 plus 1000 DP, and then the level 4s let you play a white 4 or lower tamer from your hand for free, and then that's not once per turn, so then you can just use both whenever you're attacking, hence why you want to play something like Ty and Matt and then Manoa. You really want to max out on those, and then because he did attach 2 or more, he's just going to kill my Hexaball, which is really unfortunate because now I don't have any form of stun to like prevent him from attacking or anything like that. So I'm going to start with 6, luckily, because of the Sora and Joes. I'm going to go Paildramon, and then I believe that strips 2 off of one of my opponent's Digimon, so I'm going to get rid of the Eosmon. And in this situation, that is really good because I can gain advantage off of things like the Blucomon, so I'm going to gain a memory there. And then I can prevent my opponent from just going crazy with like the 20,000 materials he has underneath the Eosmons, because I can get rid of them when the Hexablue. So then after that, I'm thinking I should just build back up into another Hexablue. So then I'm going to go Chris Paildramon, and then that one lets me trash 1 material from the bottom of every single one of my opponent's Digimon. So then now the Eosmon level 6 is left with just 1 material. And then I was thinking here, okay, so then I'm going to go into Blucomon for free, right, draw a card. And I was thinking here, I was like, you know what? I really don't want to have the Eosmon be able to attack. So I'm just going to attack with the Gabumon here, trigger Sora Joe. If he, like, he's going to block that, right? I don't care. But my point is I can get rid of all of the materials underneath the Eosmon, and then I can go Hexablue. And then so that way his Eosmon will not be able to attack. And there's currently only 1 level 7 in the game that you can Digivolve on top of a white Digimon, which is Armageddonmon. And I highly doubt he's playing that. So my point is I don't have to worry about that Eosmon doing anything, right? He can't Digivolve on top of it. So now I'm just like solid. I can just attack over his Kabuterimon because he did end up blocking my Gabumon, which is fine. And then I can just go Hexablaumon for 3, Digivolve, and draw 1. And then now all of his Digimon without materials cannot attack or block also, but you know, can't attack for now, which is awesome. So then my opponent is going to start with 3 from the Manoa and then go to 5 because of the Ty and Matt, because unfortunately I do have a level 6 or higher. So then my opponent is going to hatch his Minomon, Digivolve into Agumon, and he really needs to go, like, I think he does have enough materials and trash, so if we see another level 6 here, that will be very unfortunate. So he's going to Digivolve into level 5 for a 3 cost, draw a card, and then we might see some swing in action here, because then he could go attack. You know, if he dies, it doesn't matter because Eosmon level 5 basically replaces itself every single time by just spawning another copy of itself, which is super crazy because then you can just trigger Manoa, get a +2 off of it, and it's just super crazy. So he's going to reveal first 3, didn't reveal anything that he could add to hand, and then reveal the next 3, and then we're going to see another Eosmon level 5 in there. I'm wondering how many copies of Eosmon level 5 is like a good amount to play. Maybe like 8 or 10 or something. I don't know how many copies you guys, how many do you think you would play in an Eosmon deck? I might have to look into that because I do want to play that deck. It seems pretty fun. So we're going to check security. He's not going to die, unfortunately. He ran into the Gomamon there, but at this point we might see another level 6 hit the board because he does have, I believe, 3 different Eosmons in trash. Well, they don't have to be different, but 3 other Eosmons in trash. So then, yep, we are going to see the level 5 Digivolve for a 5 cost, which is quite a lot, but he's just going to be able to delete my Hexablaumon, and in the process, he is going to attach up to 5 materials because there are 5 Tamers in play. Again, don't think he has that many, but we're going to see 2 level 5s as well as a level 4, or 2 level 4s. Okay, alright, so quite a big stack there, right? So then we're going to let him build his tower right there. And then for my next turn, I do have quite a lot of Tamers in hand, and then you see a lot of memory boosts as well. So unless I draw a champion, I don't know if I can go back into another Hexablue, which is like really unfortunate because I need something to be able to come back. He has 5 Digimon in play, so unless I do something now, I won't be able to win the game. So then I'm going to gain 4 memory because of the Sora and Joes, and then I'm going to maybe bring out the Hexablaw. So I'm thinking here, the Blucomon, I'm thinking here I could just play the Majiramon for 7 and then go Hexablue for 3, and then that way at least 2 of his Digimon wouldn't be able to attack, so I wouldn't lose the following turn, but I still wouldn't be in a great position. So anyways, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring out the Blucomon, He does have the Upomon as well, so if I want to just attack, yes, I'm going to attack and then trigger the Upomon to just get some extra draws, and then trigger both Sora and Joe's to be able to trash all of the cards underneath the Eosmon level 6. So that is, again, Sora Joe is just such an amazing card because of not only the memory effect, but because you can also continuously trash materials. So I'm going to die in security, which is fine. I didn't have a champion anyways. I ironically drew one off of his effect after I attacked. So I'm just going to go ahead and play the Majiramon for 7 and then Digivolve Hexablow for 3. I keep saying Hexablue or Hexablow. I'm pretty sure it's Hexablow. Whatever. So then my opponent is going to bring out the Agumon. So then now he's got 3 Digimon who are unable to attack. And we see that he has 2 Eosmon level 6s in play. And then we ran into another one in security. So it's kind of unlikely we'll see the 4th, but it's possible. So then my opponent is going to attack with the level 5, bring out the other level 5, and then trigger both Manoas again. So then he can get those free pluses. And this is why, like, even though I'm pretty sure the only level 6 he's running in here is Eosmon level 6, right? It's like only 4 copies. You can just get them so easily because you have Morphmon and you have Manoa that can just trigger multiple times a turn. So it's not really a big deal. Like, you can get to your combo pieces so easily in this deck, which makes it so powerful. So then he's going to attack. And we should be seeing a security check at some point. Oh, and then we also get to see maybe the inherited effect go off, but he might not have any white tamers in hand for that to happen. So we are just going to see a security check. And then that is going to be a Gabumon, so his Eosmon level 5 survives. And then, like I said, he can't attack with the other guys. Oh, and then we also forgot, he does gain 2 at the start of the turn from the time mat there. So then, with that 5 memory, he's just going to be able to go into Eosmon. Yeah, so that's going to be game, because he's supposed to start at 5 because he had Manoa and time mat, and then he can just go Eosmon level 6, pop my Hexablue, and then just attack with everything with his 20 million Digimon that he had on field. So then game 3, I'm going to start. I went ahead and Digivolved into the Quellamon there, which is the 1 cost blocker, and then my opponent is going to go Goblymon and then play Manoa for a cost of 4, leaving me back to 3. So then I'm going to go into Majiramon for 3. Which does have the on-Digivolution effect of trash the top card of one of your opponent's Digimon, but it's not going to happen because obviously he doesn't have anything. So then I'm just going to try to guarantee myself some memory as well by playing the Sora and Joe for a cost of 4. So then after that we are going to see the Morphmon played for 3 with the nice on-Dilution effect, so he's probably going to try to swing with that, and then he's going to play the Eosmon for a cost of 5, leaving me at 4, and then reveal the top 3 with the Manoa, and we see a bunch of Eosmons there. He grabs the level 4, and then it's going to pass over to me. So then I'm going to start with 6, which is awesome, and for a turn I drew the Hexablow, which was crazy. So that was just such a nice top deck, because now with 6 memory I can just go in Hexablow for 3, and then I can attack, strip the materials off of the Goblymon, and then Hexablow will get jamming. I'll draw a card off of Upamon, and because my opponent has no Digimon with sources, I can unsuspend the Hexablow and attack again with jamming. So that's 2 attacks with jammings, and then his affected, like, what's it called? To strip the 2 materials is not once per turn. So if my opponent did have another Digimon with materials, I could do that again, and it would just be a really nice combo. Especially if I had something like the promo Gomamon or something like that on underneath him. So then I'm going to Digivolve the Gomamon and then the Quellamon as well. You see I drew the Howling Memory boost, so that might be very useful against the Eosmon because it does have a secondary clause which says you can choose one of your opponent's Digimon without sources, and then it can't attack. I believe it can't block also. It can't attack or block until the end of the next turn. So anyways, I'm just going to play the Joe for 3. Yeah, I think that was the right play. Okay, so I just played Joe for 3, and then my opponent is going to start with 3 because of the Manoa. So then he's going to hatch the Motimon, and he's not going to be able to attack with any of his current Digimon, so not going to see the one attacking from the Eosmon level 5, not going to see the on-deletion from the Morphmon. At least that's the hope so far. He's going to Digivolve into that Terriermon. and then Digivolve into the Eosmon level 4 for 2 cost, and then Manoa does not trigger because it's only when an Eosmon is played, not when one is Digivolved, so that's a little bit unfortunate. But then after that, he's just going to play the Tai and Matt dual Tamer card for 4, and then because I do have a Hexablow on field level 6 or higher, next turn he will gain the 2 memory, but I'm going to gain 2 because of my Sora and Joe, and then bring out the Coelamon, and then I still have the ability to attack twice with my Hexablow because he's got the Majiramon, and then I'm going to go ahead and Digivolve from the Crisp Paildramon, strip the materials off of the Eosmon right there, and then gain a memory off of the Gomamon, and then I'm going to gain another memory off of the Joe, and then at this point, I can go into another Hexablow. So we got 2 Hexabluemons on field, one with Security Attack +1 from the Crisp Paildramon there, and I'm going to draw a card from the Upamon, so that's going to check 2 cards with jamming, so then it doesn't matter what's in there unless it's some crazy-ass option card, and I'm going to attack with the second one, draw a card, unsuspend him, check the last card, and then I will be able to attack for a game with the last one. Doesn't matter how many ties and mats you've got. So guys, that is going to be the video. If you did enjoy, go ahead and let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, all the support I get. But thanks guys. I will see you guys next time.